I want to talk to you about Upgrade versus Discover versus Oportun. And of course, we are speaking about personal loans. So I want to do a quick compare and contrast between those three lenders and see which one you should really go for this year. So here's a loan review I want you to pay attention to. So when you think about Upgrade, I want you to think about a maximum loan amount of $50,000. So this is kind of cool because you have the possibility to actually qualify real fast. But what I want you to do is to actually check your rate. So if you go with Upgrade, you want to actually go through the pre-qualification process and actually see how much you could qualify for if you were to apply for real. And so Upgrade personal loans come with multiple rate discounts and other direct payments to actually reduce your overall payments. And this lender has a low minimum credit score requirement, making the perks stand out even more. So when you think about Upgrade, by the way, is a fintech, is a neobank, and so they will consider your application if you have about 500 as a FICO score. So the good thing about Upgrade is that you have multiple rate discounts. You have secured and joint loans. You have mobile apps to manage loan payments. So this is kind of cool because if you are a consumer who likes to monitor his or her payment through an app, then Upgrade is pretty good. You also have direct payment to creditors with debt consolidation loans. So this is kind of cool. And you also have long repayment terms on home improvement loans. So Upgrade actually, when they started a couple of years ago, they were actually giving only personal loans, but lately they have actually branched out and into other forms of loans. So that's kind of cool. And now Upgrade does charge an origination fee, and the origination fee can go all the way to 10%. So that's a really problematic. But hey, listen, it is what it is. If you need a loan, you may not care about the origination fee. And also, there is no option to choose initial payment date if you were to go with Upgrade. But just long story short, Upgrade will take care of you if you are looking for a maximum of $50,000, and the APR goes from 8% to 36%. That's kind of cool, especially if you are looking for a pretty decent APR. When you think about an Upgrade personal loan, I've already told you that the minimum FICO score is around 500, and you can use an Upgrade personal loan for all kinds of situations. So Upgrade is pretty relaxed, pretty flexible when it comes to use of loan proceeds, and basically you can use an Upgrade loan for home improvement projects. That's really good for debt consolidation, for emergencies, for medical bills, for vacations. So that flexibility is pretty cool because there are no restrictions. You'll see a little earlier when I actually, you'll see very shortly when I speak about Discover. Discover has more conditions, by the way. And Upgrade, you can use an Upgrade personal loans for weddings, for funerals, also for vehicle financing. So from a flexibility point of view, this is really good. Now, Upgrade does have some restrictions on the use of its loan proceeds. So Upgrade prohibits the use of its personal loans for college expenses, for gambling, for investments, and also for business expenses. So Upgrade actually is working on working on having a business loan for its members. But for now, you really just have a personal loan available through Upgrade. And so when it comes to Upgrade wants you to actually have a verifiable bank account. You got to have a valid email address. You got to be a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident or living in the U.S. on a valid visa. And you got to be at least 18 years of age. And also, it really helps if you can prove to Upgrade a source of revenue. In other words, you are making money either because through you are working, or you are maybe getting cash from alimony or some kind of child like spousal support systems. So, but overall, this is really fantastic. Upgrade wants you to have a minimum of one credit account, a minimum length of credit history 2 years. Okay, maximum debt to income ratio 75%, including mortgage payments. So 75%, that's pretty high, but that's really good also. So if you think about the upgrade, I want you to really familiarize yourself with Discover as a personal loan provider. I mean, Discover is known for its credit card products, but in today's conversation, I really want to talk about its personal loans. So when you think about Discover, you have a slightly less generous lender in the sense that Upgrade was giving you a maximum of $50,000. Discover is giving you a $40,000. But hey, listen, it's still something. So Discover actually has loans from $2,500 to $40,000 with terms of 3 to 7 years. So this is kind of cool because Upgrade is actually giving you a maximum of 5 years, and Discover is going a little further, 7 years. So you have the possibility to repay the loan through during 84 months. And Discover actually is a well-known institution established in 1960. So really, they've been around for many years, more than 60 years. I mean, of course, they are known for credit cards, but also actually, as a matter of fact, Discover is also an online bank. So you have the possibility to open an account, to open a checking account, a savings account at Discover. Discover doesn't have a strong network of brick and mortar branches, but you can still actually establish a relationship with Discover through its banking arm. Okay, and the cool thing also with Discover is that you are able to have relatively lower APRs on its personal loans. You have APRs that go from 8% to 25%. So this is kind of really good because this is actually among the lowest in the industry. So Discover actually will consider a credit score of a 500 to a 525. So loan amounts 2,500 to a 40,000. Loan terms 3 to 7 years, and the rates in terms of APR, you are looking at 8% to a 25%. What I want to say also is that it really helps if you have an existing relationship with Discover, either as a credit card holder or as a checking account or savings account holder. This is really cool because you are able to maybe buttress your relationship by getting a loan, and Discover will be faster. So if you think about a Discover personal loan, you have to really understand that Discover really will help you for all kinds of situations, and Discover loans might be a great option for you if you are a borrower seeking small to medium-sized loans, since loan amounts actually range from 2,500 to 40 grand. Okay. And Discover may also be an excellent choice if you need to consolidate debt, as Discover can send funds directly to your creditors. Okay. On the other hand, Discover is not the best choice for you if you want to apply for a loan with a co-borrower or a co-signer. Also, Discover is not really a great option if you have really bad credit, because most approved applicants have FICO scores of at least 550. Okay, and it can go all the way to a 580. Now the thing is, if you have an existing relationship with Discover, it doesn't matter if you have bad credit. Okay, if you have especially on the banking side, this is really helpful. Okay, and the cool thing is that you can actually before you actually apply for a Discover loan, go through the pre-qualification process. Discover has a pre-qual process, so you want to go through the process, kind of similar to Upgrade. So you want to go through the process to see how much you could qualify for. Okay. And one thing I want to say here is that in terms of the array of loan proceed uses, Upgrade is actually way more flexible than Discover. Discover allows you to use the cash for vacations, home renovations, car repairs, moving expenses, medical bills, emergencies, and taxes. But it doesn't have a longer list than what you have, for instance, with Upgrade. Okay. And one thing I have to say here is that I think I've said this before, but I want to insist on that. Actually, through Discover, there are no joint loans allowed. So Discover doesn't allow applicants to apply with a co-borrower or a co-signer. And so this could be a little problematic, especially if you have a pretty bad credit. Okay. And also, there are late fees. So if you don't repay your loan on time, Discover might charge you $39 in late fees, and so it's always a bad idea anyway to miss a payment. I want to share with you some information about the third lender into this conversation. So this is Oportun. So when you think about Oportun, I want you to think about a lender that really is focused on offering like pretty like a lower loan amount, that's for sure, and they focus more on borrowers who have problems with their FICO scores. Okay, and it's one of those things where if you are a borrower who does not actually have a good relationship with a traditional bank or a traditional credit union, then you want to think about Oportun. And Oportun actually provides inclusive lending, especially valuable for those with a limited credit history. So if you are around 300, 400, or 500, then you might want to think about Oportun. Now, Oportun is not going to give you a large loan amount. No, they will cap you at $10,000. So this is a little bit disappointing. This could be disappointing because if you compare this to Upgrade maximum of 50,000 and Discover maximum of 40,000, 10 grand is pretty disappointing. Okay, and what I want to see here is that Oportun actually specializes in personal loans for various needs such as medical expenses, home repairs, and so if this lender is a resource for you if you are looking to rebuild your credit history. And one thing I want to say here is that when you think about Oportun, the biggest benefit is that it is really accessible to poor credit borrowers. Okay, and but the biggest drawback is that you do have small loan amounts because the loan amounts range from $300 to $10,000. Okay, $300 to $10,000, and the APR is kind of high too because I mean, if you are speaking about a low credit score sort of population, you are speaking about subprime. So the APR is can go all the way to 36%. Okay, and so the repayment period is based on loan size, rate, fees, and terms, and the payments are fixed installments. Okay, so that's really important to know. And you can have unsecured loans through Oportun, that's for sure. And but you are able to actually basically you are able to repay the loan via direct deposit. So that's the kind of a flexibility that Oportun has. So one thing I want to say here is that when you think about Oportun as a lender this year, I want you to really understand that you have a lender that's pretty accessible in terms of capabilities, and Oportun will work with you in terms of possibilities. Now, the thing is that Oportun actually is not available in all states, so this is important to really think about it this way. And but Oportun is pretty flexible in the sense that it will work with you no matter what. Okay. One thing I want to say here is that with Oportun, you want to call them first. If you're looking for, let's say, flexibility, you want to get a loan amount through them. You want to call them first, and you want to really have a conversation with them and see what you can qualify for. Oportun, depending upon the state you're applying from, you could have a pre-qual process or not. So it really depends on the conditions that you have. But the good thing is that you always want to actually see if you can pre-qualify. Okay. Now let me give you a few of the states, not a few, all of the states where Oportun is available. Okay. Oportun is not available in all 50 states, by the way. They're not. So Oportun is available in Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Arizona, California, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri, Mississippi, Montana, North Carolina, North Dakota, Nebraska, New Mexico, New Hampshire. You have New Jersey, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee. You have Texas, Utah. Okay. You also have Virginia, Vermont, Washington State, Wyoming, and Wisconsin. So if you don't hear your if you haven't heard your state in the list, that means that they're not there yet. Okay. But the thing is that when it comes to who's eligible for an Oportun secured personal loan, because by the way, Oportun has an unsecured personal loan, but also secured personal loans. So they are pretty flexible, okay? And so it really depends on the kind of security you want to put as collateral, okay? But the good thing is that, as I said a little earlier, you can use an Oportun loan for emergency expenses, debt consolidation, personal investments. So you can personal expenses, okay? So you can see that you have a pretty reliable, a pretty flexible lender. So I want to talk to you quickly about how to actually steps. I want to give you a few steps to apply for an Oportun loan. This is a pretty straightforward matter. It's a pretty straightforward process. So you want to start the process by visiting Oportun's website and click apply now to begin. Okay, you can see apply now on the screen here. So that's the first step. Then you want to provide personal information. So they will ask you for basic personal and financial details in the online form. Okay, and so here you are speaking about first name, last name, and also what kind of work you have, and you want to submit required documentation. So for a personal loan, you are looking at valid photo ID, proof of income, address verification, and up to 4 personal references. For a secured loan, you got to have the original vehicle title, the vehicle registration, driver's license, proof of income and address, pictures of the car, and bank details for verification. So that's really an important element to think about. And so once you have that, you have to also review and submit. So check all the information for accuracy and submit the application. That's why I was telling you a little earlier that it's just a lot better to contact Oportun first to ask all kinds of questions and see if you can actually pre-qualify before submitting any information. So once you actually submit all the documentation, you want to wait for approval. So Oportun reviews the application. The duration actually can vary, but it's generally prompt. So you're looking at 24 to 72 hours. Okay. So the ease of Oportun's online application and also the minimal impact on credit scores during pre-qualification actually makes this loan a very accessible option for many borrowers, especially if you are new to credit overall. And also the requirements for personal references and vehicle details for secured loans are unique and caters to a diverse range of applicants. So if you happen to be denied, let's say if you denied for a loan from Oportun, if you denied a personal loan, you want to really understand the reasons behind the denial so that you can really navigate forward, right? And not repeat the same mistakes. So there are common reasons for denial and solutions that those include insufficient income. So you want to really maybe increase your income. You also have a high debt to income ratio, inaccurate or incomplete application, or unstable employment history, or poor credit history. So this could also be a problem. So upgrade versus discover versus Oportun personal loan. So which one should you go for? Before I give you the answer here, it's important to understand that when you are looking for a personal loan lender, like a personal loan lender you got to really ask yourself, first of all, do I need a loan this year? Do I need a loan right now? Okay. When does taking out a personal loan make the most sense, especially with the specific lender you want to go for? Because see, the thing is that when you look at the upgrade is a fintech. Discover is a quasi online bank, okay, whereas Oportun is an alternative lender. So you have 3 different lender types with different processes. So you got to really ask yourself, basically, is this the right time to get a loan, to get a personal loan? Because see, there are actually 4 scenarios when a personal loan is a good financial choice. You have a steady, reliable income, okay? You want a definite debt payoff date. You don't want to touch your home's equity, or you want to avoid revolving credit and improve your credit score. So this is kind of important. So whether you go with Upgrade, Discover, Oportun, or another lender, you got to really be in a situation where at least you can repay the loan, because the last thing you want is to actually get a loan and you realize that you don't have enough coming in to actually repay the loan, right? You want to make sure that your cash inflows versus cash outflows shows a good balance, so you can repay the loan real fast. So now, how do you compare personal loans? Whether you go to Upgrade, Discover, or Oportun, well, you want to look at the approval requirements. You want to look at the interest rates and fees. You want to look at the possibility to have co-signers, especially if your credit score is very low. You want to maybe see if you can have co-signers. You also want to look at the loan amounts. As you saw a little earlier, Opportune is giving you a maximum of $10,000. Discover is giving you a maximum of $40,000, whereas Upgrade is giving you a maximum of 50 grand. So if loan amount maximums, if loan amounts, the size of the loan is important for you, so you want to go in this case for Upgrade. You also want to look at the repayment options. Most loan terms range between 1 and 7 years, so you want to look for lenders that offer multiple repayment terms and choose the one you can best afford. Think about the unique features also, as well as the customer service. Customer service is important, especially if you are going to have a long repayment window, okay? So basically, how do you get a personal loan? You want to know how much you want to borrow, learn the rules, the lender rules, and get your paperwork together. Weigh your options, choose what type of personal loans make sense to you. Shop at 3 different lenders, pick a lender and finalize your approval, provide the necessary documentation and get your funds and start making payments, okay? So where's the pick here? Upgrade versus Discover versus Oportun. Which one should you go for this year? Our choice is pretty simple. Upgrade. Upgrade is way better than the other two because Upgrade gives you, number one, a larger loan amount, gives you more flexible repayment terms. Now, just watch out for the origination fees, though. Just watch out for that. So, in conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about Upgrade versus Discover versus Oportun. I give you the loan review, the loan selection, the pick, and now the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.